This module is all about getting information and finding out your customers' expectations. Of course, to get your customers to speak, you've got to ask them questions, but not just any old questions. In fact, all depends on your objective. For your questions, there are really three main categories of an objective when you are selling an ALE solution. First of all, you just need to get a positive response. Get a simple yes. For example, so you want to be able to connect your printing system to your production line, right? Building up the number of yes answers is essential to getting an overall agreement from the customer. Sometimes, however, you might want to get a no answer. For example, despite the planned production rate, you can't really justify creating another marking workstation, right? Now, it's pretty easy to find questions to ask in order to get this type of answer. Generally, they're the first questions which come to mind. All the same, you need to be careful not to ask negative questions when you want to get a yes answer. And wouldn't you want to have some more inks? That way you would be sure not to be out of stock. Negative questioning and the conditional tense should be fought against. After that, the second thing you need is more information. This information may be about a specific product, printing speed, the quantity of goods to be printed, or simply the name of a person or a place where the work is to be done. And usually, it's easy to get the customer to talk about such subjects. All you need to do is to ask him to give you precise information. What's the speed of your line? A short question means a short answer. 10,000 bottles an hour. No wasted words, but no additional detail from your customer that you can use later. The third and final category of objective of your questioning can be in order to acquire more raw material that can then be used. Just like a potter molds clay, the ALE sales executive works with the words of his customer. The potter will produce a piece of tableware. The sales executive will produce a proposal from the exchange he has with his customer. The more clay the potter has, the more objects he can produce. The richer the conversation generated by the salesperson, the more leverage he will have to sell the ALE solution, which is the best adapted to the specificities of the customer. During this questioning phase, you therefore need to find out what you are trying to find out. It may be a yes, some technical information, or perhaps you want to get your customer to speak about his expectations in terms of printing, or to get a better understanding of his intrinsic motivations. Different rules of questioning need to be used for different objectives. The more your customer talks, the better the chances of making him a suitably adapted proposal. The less your customer speaks, the more standard the proposal will be. You will make it almost blindly, and the customer will feel like he's buying something off the shelf. This means you're giving him the opportunity to resist, to counter, and to find angles which will allow him to negotiate, and negotiate often the price. Of course, some customers, especially professional buyers, will put you under pressure to show your hand. Professional buyers are obsessed with trying to find points of leverage for negotiation. For them, anything is ground to try and get something more. So, it's in the buyer's interest to get you to speak, and as early as possible. So, he will ask you questions. and he often has the power to do that first. What you can do then is to use a technique which is often used in martial arts, such as Aikido. Use the strength of your opponent against himself. Once you have answered his question, keep the initiative and follow up immediately with an open-ended question without leaving him pause for thought. For example, which makes me think, why have you always marked your boxes just on one side? As the customer is caught somewhat off guard, he will often just respond spontaneously and give you even more information. This way, you may learn precious things which could be useful later on. Our experience has proved the importance of questioning techniques in the sale of an ALE solution. Most salespeople don't really master these questioning techniques. Some will start talking immediately about specific sales features, about ALE more generally, or the products in particular. They aren't really bothered about discovering the customer's requirements. Many will hardly ever ask an open-ended question. Others will often use negative questioning. Even amongst those who understand the importance of questioning, many do it without any plan or structure. So they often end up with that horrible feeling of going round in circles and not really getting anywhere in proposing an ALE solution. In order to get great results with ALE, you need a guiding thread to your questioning. We believe that after the fourth question, the customer should be starting to formulate his need. This is not done randomly or intuitively, but is simply the result of applying precise rules or techniques. Alex is your virtual facilitator, and he will now explain to you the different questioning techniques that we have developed over time. Before starting though, think about these 3 questions that he is going to ask you.